Okay. Hello, hello. Oh no. Did it not keep my saves? Hang on. I gotta figure out something. Load. Oh good, it kept my saves. Okay. I was a little worried there. Okay, 1330, 32, 1400. Okay, so it did keep my saves. Okay, good. I was a little worried here. Okay. 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 Alright, time to log over to Twitchy.ru. And then I will copy up the scene. As much as I like watching Kirsha. Copy link. And then none of the things here I need to check. There we go. Paste and send and do. Post. And then we go to Instagram. As per usual. Okay, I'm gonna close out that window for a minute. And that should do it for Instagram and Threads. Go over to... Okay. Over onto Discord. Let people know there. And then lastly, Meta. And then we will get started on today's Christmas Eve live stream. Kept one, but it didn't keep the other. That's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and exit out of stuff. Yep, hello, Padme love. Alright. Let's get back to it. We had just done the servant summoning as Rin Tosaka, and that was a pretty happy moment for me as a live streamer. And, nothing's there. The room doesn't look any different. I just spun around much ether into this ritual, only for absolutely nothing to materialize. On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor. Why? I bolt. My head's empty at this point. I just run. I race up the stairs from the basement. The door's broken! The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. So is there any point in turning the doorknob? And since it won't open whether I push or pull... Damn it! Move, you stupid thing! I kick it down and burst into the room. and the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes very clear. Sup? Everything is in tatters. Rubble is strewn across everything as if it's fallen through the ceiling. On top of all this sits a man cocking his head arrogantly. He must be some kind of criminal. But something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having escaped the destruction, tells me the time precisely. Now I remember. Right, of course, the clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they? Which means it's 1 a.m. Still a full hour left until I'm at the peak of my spellcasting form. I screwed up again. I can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but suffer from the curse of my genetics. When it really counts, somehow I managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level. What's done is done. I gotta learn from this. I can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lounging haughtily on the rubble. So, who are you? That's the first thing out of your mouth. I seem to be an dealt a truly ridiculous master. Oh yes, this is a servant. The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. Is this a servant? I thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. No, not just a man. Even from here I can tell it's a brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by its appearance. I'm stirring something that undoubtedly is more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost that's on the level of an elemental. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. I need to get my head in the game. Just checking. But are you my servant, right? That's what I wanted to ask. Are you even my master? I've never been summoned so violently before, and honestly, I'm struggling to get my bearings. It's my first time too. I'm not answering questions like that. I see. Weren't you here when I was summoned? Care to explain why? Are you serious? You're no baby bird. Don't joke that you can't decide who to serve. They aren't there when you open your eyes. The unidentified servant frowns and a grunt escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he had mixed reaction, as if impressed by the logic in my words. Whatever. I'm asking. If you're my servant and no one else's. I don't have to answer your questions until you make that clear. Is that what I get after being summoned, huh? I believe there's something else you should be asking. There isn't. The master-familiar relationship is first detailing to hash out. The servant's eyebrow twitches. He's even bothered to hide his dissatisfaction with me. I wonder if it's because of the half-baked summoning. You want to clarify who serves whom? At least you know how to run your mouth, even if you failed at everything else. Sure, I agree with that opinion. We ought to make clear who's strong and who's weak, or else it'll make this dynamic difficult. The servant's eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room. Who's weak? Yeah, I'm a servant. I acknowledge that I serve my summoner, but that's only on how it is on paper, would you say? I agree, see. You still need to establish who's superior and whether you're worthy to fight alongside. On that point, are you a mage worthy of my service, little girl? The servant smirks. First, he destroys my house, acts like he's the king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask me whether I'm worthy? I didn't ask for your opinion. I only asked if you were my servant or not. I repeat myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not gonna back down to this condescending jerk. Oh? I see. You don't even deign to answer such an obvious question. At least you got spirit. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Like I said, you're getting ahead of yourself. It's the summoner's duty to confirm this first. Now answer me, are you my servant or not? I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer. Ugh, such a stubborn girl. We'll get nowhere at this rate. Very well. For discussion's sake, let's assume I'm your servant. In that case, are you my master? Hypothetically speaking, of course. Obviously! You're the servant I summoned! Who else would it be? I glare at this rude man, giving my seething head a moment to cool down. Oh? Well, I would be, hypothetically. Then where's the proof you're my master? The servant blithely asks, smirking all the while. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions into losing my temper. Right here. This is proof I'm your master. Hmm? Yeah, all masters have command seals on their hands, so... I show him the command seals on my right hand. Okay, so this hand. I don't think I was born yesterday. Father's told me nothing. But I know what a command spells are, at least. Good enough for you yet? Any other complaints? I thrust the symbol at him in a challenge. But the lounging servant rolls his eyes. Are you serious right now, girl? His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled. What do you mean? I'm talking about the way you think. Command spells automatically make you my master. They're merely tools to compel a servant. I can't believe you think flaunting some symbols is enough to play master. What I want is to see whether you deserve my loyal service. Oof. That makes sense. Normally you'd think of command spells if someone asked for proof you're a master, right? What, you think I'm unqualified to be your master? I wish that were the case. Unfortunately, your command spells show that you summoned me, as hard as it is to believe. You appear to be my master. He shrugs in a mock exhaustion. Uh-oh. I have reached my boiling point, and I'm not going to cool down in time. I'm hardly satisfied. I'll concede the point. For now, you're my master. I have conditions. I'm not going to do what you say. I'll decide the direction of the battle, and you'll act as I see fit. This is the greatest concession I can give you. I'm sure you don't mind, girl. ... Sorry, Father. I'm at my limit. Okay, you're saying you'll recognize me if you don't like it? You'll ignore my opinions? Aren't you supposed to be my servant? I ask in a trembling voice. After our spat over command spells, this was my last desperate attempt at dialogue. And yet, Yes, technically, therefore I will obey you in theory. But I'm the one who will be fighting. You can just hide underground in your house and behave until the Holy Grail War is over. That way, even a novice like you will survive. He is looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me. Did I make you angry? Of course I respect your position. I was summoned to bring my master victory after all. My victories belong to you, as will any spoils of war. You hardly have anything to complain about. Oh. You can't even use those command spells. Just leave the rest to me, and worry about your own skin. I have had it with you! Fine, that's how it's gonna be. Then I'll use them! Afang. No more mercy. I've got nothing left for this jackass like this. What? Don't tell me. It's exactly what you're thinking, you dirtbag. Vertrak. Naga and Sketsa, according to the laws of the Holy Grail. In Ruktin, I bind my servant in absolute obedience. You wait, have you lost your mind, Master? Who would waste a command spell on something like this? Shut up! You're my servant, get it? That means you have to do what I say. The emblem on my right hand aches. 3 command spells. They allow a master to issue 3 unbreakable commands to their servants. Did you even think this through? To use the command spell in such a vague order? It's too late to whine now. I didn't expect this to happen either. I want to die of self-loathing. I can't believe I burned one of my precious command spells on a petty squabble. After that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlor and went to my bedroom. Before me stands the servant whom my command spell is compelled to absolute obedience from. Supposedly, anyway. I see, I more or less have you figured out, Master. Who would call this absolute obedience? Just to be clear, you do understand how critical command spells are, right, Master? Sure I do! They let me order my servant around 3 times. What about it? Listen, command spells let you force a servant into action. You can use them not only to stop actions, but strengthen actions. For example, normally I can't come to you instantly from a distant location. But if you order me with a command spell, it's possible as long as it has something that is attainable with our magical energies. That's what the power of force compliance means, not even we servants can resist. Your command spells are 3 crystallizations of grand magic crafts. That can make us overcome our bodily limits, though. You're down to 2 now. Good job. I know that. So what? I still have 2 more. It's not like the first order was wasted on you. You're right. I did miscalculate. The more vague the order is, the more power of a command spell diminishes. They're weaker and long-lasting. Broad commands like protect me until end or win this war for me. The compulsion will be sustained, but there will be servants who can resist the minor pain of disobedience. On the other hand, singular commands like unleash your attack at all costs or do not break that glass are absolutely, and even most powerful servants will find difficulty defying it. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, Master? Yes, you're saying vague commands are pointless. If the effect and restriction are both weak, the servant can act against their command spells. It's better to use them on simple, straightforward orders rather than something abstract. Yep. That's correct. A command spell is meant to cause miracles beyond our own means. It's unforgivably foolish to spend them on a task that can be executed by other means. That goes doubly for the way you used it earlier. You could have verbally persuaded me to obey you, and even 100 command spells would have failed to enforce the absolute obedience. You're saying for it was all for nothing? Normally that would be the case, but it appears that you are an outstandingly talented mage. Is he shocked or happy? My servant's lips twitch upward even as he sighs. By outstanding, you mean... Hang on, tell me honestly, what condition is like right now? The implication dawns on me and I ask him eagerly. That was my miscalculation. Your command spell should have resulted in a change of heart that would make me want to respect your opinion slightly more. But I can feel a strong compulsion from your every word. If I voice an objection, let me think. It's as if my defiance will weaken me. In other words, my body will grow heavy, making it difficult to move if I defy my master's will. My servant shrugs in resignation. So he's saying my command spells wasn't a waste, but an actual benefit? He's still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem to have had any effect. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decides to rebel against me. Allow me to retract my previous statement, Master. You may be young, but you are a superior mage. If my mistake for underestimating you as a child and trying to keep you out of the fight, I apologize for my rudeness. The servant straightens his posture and gives me a formal bow. Hold on. I know we said a lot of things to each other, but it's not like we need to make up after. Is that so? Good. I'm glad you're so understanding. Awfully quick on the uptake, aren't you? Indeed, I miscalculated. Some people call it a happy accident. I have no qualms bringing a mage of your talents into the war. Huh? Is that his roundabout way of saying I'm a strong master? So you recognize me as your master, and even without the command spells? Of course. I was looking at my bearings after the summoning earlier, but we're now completely connected. As a mage, you should feel the bond of our pact. Our pact? Now that he mentions it, something weird. It does feel weird about my body. It's as if my closed-off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I can feel a portion of my magical energy flowing to the man before me. Oh, the Holy Grail pulse serves the Master keeps it in the world. That's your power as a master. You supply your servant magical energy so they can remain in the world. And my supply is adequate. I have concerns about your inexperience, but your powers make up for it. A common mage would have fainted the second they summoned a servant, yet you're standing here full of life. Considering the command spell you used earlier, your energy capacity unquestionably makes you a master of the Final Excalibur. Yes, hello, Gracie. Hello. Flattery will get you won't get you anywhere. I break eye contact out of embarrassment. Well, I didn't see this coming. I know the command spell is making him obey me, but still, this superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as his master. So which servant are you? I cleared my head and returned to the business. You can't tell by look? Very well then. ... I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me. Fine, I'm asking you, as your master. Hey, aren't you a saber? He's not. I can tell you already he's not. Unfortunately, I'm not equipped with a sword. I suspected as much. When all was said and done, I got the time wrong. My summoning circle didn't do its job, and my servant was spat out into some random room. It was far too sloppy a ritual to summon the strongest servant, Saber. I really botched it this time. I'll never live this down, failing to pull Saber after spending that many gems. Sorry, I'm not Saber. I'm sure it's a painful mistake. I'm the only one who screwed up. Saber typically is the strongest servant type out there, out of the 7, but doesn't mean the Saber will always win in some stories. Yeah. I bet you think Archer isn't a very attractive class. Hi, Archer. Alright. I'll make you eat those words when the time comes. I won't be taking any apologies. What? What a surprise. The identified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe my fixation on Saber offended him. That strike a nerve, Archer? It did. Just watch. I'll show you how lucky you are to have me. Archer retorts with a sidelong glance. He has a really spiteful hair about him, but that reaction felt almost somehow childish and free of malice. You know, he might be a pretty decent guy. Okay, make sure I regret what I said, Archer. I'll apologize from the bottom of my heart if so. You'd better remember that, Master. You'll be grateful once you learn how capable I am. Of course, my apology might not satisfy me at that point. Archer huffs, even as his lips twist into a grin. Oh yeah, this one's got a rotten personality all the way. Alright. Fine, anyway, you're heroic spirit, so you're a legend originally from... ... Archer doesn't answer. His sardonic expression is replaced by a deepening frown. Archer, your master just asked you a question. It's a secret. What? I can't tell you where I'm from because... Hey, I'll get mad if you give me a lame excuse like that. Well... There's that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth. Because I don't know. Amnesia trope, let's go! Are you making fun of me again? I don't mean to insult you, but it must be because of the imperfect summoning my memories are jumbled. I know who I am, but my name and origins are a haze. Still, it isn't valuable information, so there's no need for me to be concerned. Of course I'm concerned! If I don't know which hero spirit you are, then how am I supposed to know how strong you are? And what's the problem? That's a trivial question. There you go again! How am I supposed to form a strategy if I can't tell how strong my partner is? We can't fight a war like that! What do you mean? I'm a servant that you summon. Naturally, that makes me the strongest. He's so straightforward. The Crimson Knight fixed me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. What? My brain grinds to a halt. There's no deception in Archer's words. He's sincerely giving me more credit than I deserve, and even though we've just met. My cheeks are burning. I'm sure I'm blushing bright red right now. Surprise attacks like that tend to be my weakness. Fine, then. At least nobody else knows who you are. They say you have to fool your allies to fool your enemies. I turn away from Archer to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure out in due time what sort of servant he is anyway. For now, we have other priorities. Okay, I want to ask your identity for the time being. Having watched all the Fate anime that I could, I already know Archer's identity. But it's very interesting, so we'll see if we get that information in the playthrough. Then Archer, here's your first job. Jumping straight to it, are we? I guess you're an aggressive type. Where's the... Before he can say enemy, I toss a broom and dustpan at him. Go clean up the mess you made downstairs. He's literally making him do the cleanup. A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses, he grips the broom indignantly. Wait, what exactly do you think a servant is? A familiar, right? A little uppity and hard to deal with, though. Archer cuts himself off. I have no intention of letting him off, even if he tries to weasel out of it, but still, I have a card to play. I object. I refuse to. Are you sure? This is a direct order from your master. I thought you said you'd feel weighed down going against me. It's too bad, it's too much for you to handle, but the penalty will continue until the parlor is clean, you know. Won't that pose a risk when we start fighting tomorrow? Archer's giving indignant growls. He stands there for several more seconds with a broom in hand, grumbling under his breath. And so Archer in his red mantle closes his eyes. Understood. Go to hell, master. And gracefully accepts my order. Now then, it's getting late, so I should rest. I can decide how to deal with him once I wake up. That fateful day draws to a close. No, rather, my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once the 7th and final master summons their servant, the holy grail of this generation will begin. In the not-so-distant future, the battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. Are we done with the prologue? The next day, it's February the 1st. The Holy Grail War. It's a grand ritual that's been repeated for hundreds of years. A fight to the death between 7 participants, of which only 1 can survive. It's said that a Holy Grail exists in the land of Yuki, and that a number of mages fought over it in the past. Their one and only objective was to obtain the relic called the Holy Grail. However, the Grail's origins are unclear. We're sure it isn't the chalice that held the blood of Christ, but its power is fearsome enough to be compared to the genuine article. Basically, in Nasuverse, there's 2 Holy Grails. There's the one that, of course, is Jesus' cup at the Last Supper, and then there's this one, which is more related to magecraft. That's right. They say the Holy Grail can grant any wish. Only 1 person can possess it. The Holy Grail can only grant 1 wish for 1 person. Despite that, 7 mages are needed to summon the Grail to this land. 7 collaborators create 1 miracle. So as you might imagine, it was only a matter of time before they started fighting over the Grail. Like so many conflicts, it started as a competition over property rights. The 7 mages equally use the power of the Grail to summon their respective familiars, then do battle over the Grail itself. Only 1 mage can obtain the Grail. As a result, 7 people who started as colleagues end up as ferocious in battles of the death. That's the gist of the ritual known as the Holy Grail War, a struggle for ownership between mages. The mages chosen by the Grail are called Masters. Those who use the blessing of the Grail acquire powerful familiars known as servants. Here's the tarot cards of them. 2 things serve as proof as one has become a master. The summoning and command of a servant. The mark of the command spells compels the servants to obey. The first goes without saying. The archer I summoned yesterday, no, a few hours ago to be exact, is Rin Tosaka's servant. As for the second, a master must closely guard the command spells that control one's servant. This is probably the most critical aspect of being a master. When I summoned Archer, symbols appeared in my right hand, namely command spells. Stigmata bestowed by the Holy Grail upon the summoning of a servant that marks one's new status as a master. A massive amount of magical energy is compressed into these seals, whose power is fleeting rather than long-lasting. They disappear once they're used, and as their shape suggests, each marking represents a single use. In other words, one only gets 3 shots. A master who has used up all 3 command spells can no longer control a servant and is as good as dead. Hang on. My phone's being weird. There we go. Therefore, command spells must be held with care until the very end, since they're as valuable as one's own life. It pains me to no end that I burned one right off the bat, but it wasn't a total waste, so I chalk it off as a win. After all, a servant could turn on its master at any time. If one command spell is what it takes to put a collar on him, then I consider it a fair trade. That's about it for the broader strokes of this business. Once 7 servants have been summoned, the Holy Grail War will begin. Night's sleep will be a fitful one. I don't know when the final master will appear, but they will be right around the corner. Is it morning already? I feel sluggish. My bleary gaze goes out the window, only to see that it's already bright outside. It's after 9? That doesn't even count as being tardy. After a drowsy check of the clock, I made my mind skip school today. Body's heavy, feels like business mostly drained me. Sitting up in bed, I heave a long sigh. Not being a morning person isn't enough to explain why I feel so dull. I think Archer mentioned something about it. The master will be out of commission after summoning a servant. That's right. I summoned Archer, not Saber. I remember it all clearly now. I'd rather not be too honest, but it's not as if I'm denying facts that'll let me do it over. It'll take a day or 2 to recover my power, but I'll just retreat today as a break-in period. I drag myself out of bed. A mental boxing match rages between the outside air, which is quite warm for winter, and the comfort of my bed sheets. It concludes in a 3-second knockout against the temptation of going back to sleep. I check my body in the mirror. Nothing out of place aside from the loss of half my usual magical energy. Not that it's a problem. I review the situation. I summon the servant Archer, who doesn't have an ounce of respect for his master. To make matters worse, he doesn't even know I don't even know who he is. Wow, talk about a headache. I guess that means his trump card is off the table until his memories come back. Can't expect him to use a power he doesn't remember. Servants are strong familiars all on their own, but what makes them truly formidable is the secret weapon they each possess. Frustratingly, Archer claims to have forgotten what his is. It's my fault he's in this state, so we'll just have to make it work. We're both in the same boat, then. I can only pray that he'll sort his memories out. Who knows how long that might take. Good grief. I really got my work cut out for... I might have to reevaluate my opinion of him. This room was a pigsty rubble mess when he showed up. Now it looks perfect. The parlor's completely back to normal. I thought maybe he'd just clear away the detritus, but the room is so spotless I can't help but be impressed. Must have felt bad for wrecking the place. I doubt he would have gone to the trouble otherwise. I guess I ought to commend him for being a decent guy, then Still taking your sweet time, I see. Need I remind you we're wasting daylight? I retract my statement. There isn't a remorseful bone in his body. Good morning. You seem to have made yourself right at home. I did. I spent the night, after all. Oh, I took the occasion to tidy up the kitchen. I expect to be inadequate, but it's rather thoughtfully furnished, so quite well kept for a girl living alone in a mansion. I have a headache. Why do I have to put up with a servant judging my interior decoration? I thought servants all cared only about fighting. Are we sure this guy isn't defective? I see you're in the best condition. You were so feisty last night, but fatigue must have caught up with you. I'll pour you some tea. I hope Black is fine. Acting like he owns the place, without missing a beat, Archer produces a teacup and fills it with the expensive radish tea he'd been brewing. There's a lot I want to say outright, but oddly enough, I can't work up the inclination to. The way he does it all is so refined. I got to admit, he might be rather cultured. Fine, I'm pretty exhausted, so I'll have some. I sit down on the chair. The teacup's placed soundlessly in front of me. I take a sip. It's delicious. I expect much since this is my favorite Chinese tea, a spring harvest Hongchunga. Hongcha? I'd be upset if it didn't taste good. On that note, I'd normally be upset with someone who used my favorite tea leaves without asking. It makes me mad, but the tea was brewed so exquisitely that the pleasure overcomes my anger. Hey, what's so funny? Well, I was gonna ask how you like it, but your face tells me enough. I set the teacup down with a forceful thud. Oh, what's the waste? You should enjoy it while it's still hot. I can leave if I'm spoiling the mood. No need, thanks for the tea. I didn't become a master to be a tea snob. I didn't ask you to do that either. I see, I agree. I didn't make a contract with you to be your tea brewer. I'll show more restraint in the future if that's what you want. Yeah, you're only here to be combat familiar. I've never heard of a servant that does household chores, nor do I particularly need one. Rin, I'm pretty sure you need one. What do you mean by particularly? Interpret it however you want. More importantly, do you remember who you are yet? Archer shakes his head negatively. That doesn't bode well. If he can't remember after a single night, then his memories probably won't return easily. There's some measure I can try today, but alright. I'll think of solutions for your memory issue. Oh, is that time? I guess we'll pause here. Yes, there's a flow chart because this game has 3 distinct timelines. That one. There we go. And we'll call